Hey folks, Country Prepper here. So I really wanted to get outdoors and do this video, but the weather just has not cooperated with me at all this year. But next month, my friend Lee Ralph is going to be hosting a camp out down in Kansas where he lives. And so I have a bunch of new gear that I'm going to be taking with me, stuff I haven't shown on this channel yet. So I just thought I'd go over it real quick with you guys and just show you what I got, so show you what I'll be using, and hopefully I can get out and set this stuff up and make sure it all works together, because this stuff is, most of it is brand new to me, and so I don't want to travel, you know, several hours away with new gear and have it not work out. So hopefully I can get out to the woods. Hopefully it'll dry up. Right now everything is melting. It's raining. It's about 50 degrees out, and we had, I don't know, probably over 2 foot of snow still on the ground before this hit us. And so everything's going to be a swamp for a while. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can get out before then and, like I said, test the stuff out, make sure it works together. But thought I'd show you what I have for now and we'll kind of go from there. So first up, this is something I have used before. I used in the last camp out I did with over in Woodburn with Tack and Johnny and Willie and BJ, all those guys that I talk about on my channel here all the time. They're all from here in Iowa, so that's why you hear me talking about them a lot. And they're all fellow YouTubers as well. And there were some other people with us too. But anyway, so I have used this, and the weekend that I used it, it got down, one night it got down into the lower 20s, and this was a little bit cold, but being in April, it should do just fine. It's got a 30-degree rating on it, so I think I'll be okay. This is the Nemo Tango Solo. It's actually been discontinued, but they have several other ones. They have another one that's very similar to it. I think basically this one, there's a reason they discontinued it. It has one of those hoods that go over top of your head. It's more like a quilt than a sleeping bag. It has a good foot box in it, but the hood that goes over your head, if you try to turn over in your sleep, it comes unsnapped every time. So it's kind of a nightmare to use on a sleeping pad, even though it has a sleeve for a sleeping pad. It kind of sucks for sleeping on the ground, I'll just put it that way. But I think it'll work great in a hammock, because since it has that sleeve underneath of it and it has that foot box, it'll keep the blanket on top of me at night, but also I can kick my feet out of it if I get a little too warm. So I think it's a good option for that. If you can find one, since they're discontinued, you could probably find it at a discount. But I'm not really crazy about the color of it either. So I have it in this big bag to keep it from being compressed. But it's orange and kind of a silver color. But I got it on sale, that's why I picked it up, and it was still expensive when it was on sale. Anything from Nemo is really expensive, but at the time I was making money hand over fist with cryptocurrency, so I really didn't care. But and I wanted a good quilt, or I wanted something good that was down, so it was very lightweight, because when we went to Woodburn on that camping trip, I had to carry it in a mile, and I still wasn't in that good of health at the time, so that was the reason for it. The other thing I have from Nemo is this hammock, the Cloud View Light Hammock. This is a flat laying hammock, and it has these pulls in here to separate the ends. The reason that I went with a flat laying hammock is, with all the trouble after that accident with my knee, I cannot sleep with my legs straightened out, or I don't know what it is about hammocks, gathered in hammocks. I have tried everything you can think of. I've tried a structural ridge line. I've tried different angles with the tie straps. You know, I've tried everything that everybody I have ever found on YouTube recommends to try and get an angled lay in a hammock. But probably because I'm so heavy in the midsection, still need to lose a lot of weight, I always end up in a banana shape in the middle of the night, and my legs, my knees especially, even before the accident, were just killing me in the morning. A lot of times my feet would be asleep because of it, because of my knees being hyperextended in that banana shape. So I got a flat laying hammock, and they have a picture of it here. looks kind of like that. So I think it'll work well for me, and I think it will be a lot more comfortable. It's got a really good weight capacity rating on it, so if you're a bigger guy, it'd be a good thing to look into if you have the same problem as me, ending up in that banana shape that just sucks. So, like I said, I tried everything to get that angled lay like everyone recommends, and it just, no matter what, I always ended up, laying in it straight and in a banana shape, so didn't like that. The next thing is the To-Go Systems Trifecta version 3 XL. This thing is huge. I could probably fit me and my wife in this thing. And so it's not quite the size of 2 trifectas zipped together, but it's about like 1.5, somewhere in there. So it's plenty big. And I talked to Brian from To-Go Systems, and he said with the connector kit, you could actually use this as an underquilt if you needed to. So just in case the other underquilt that I'm going to show you here in a second, in case it's too warm for that, then I can use this. If it's going to be really wet, I can also put this underneath the underquilt in order to, keep the rain out, keep the condensation out, whatever the case may be. The last thing you want, if it's cool out, is to get wet. So that's the idea why I'm taking this as well. And so I'll show you this. This is the Therm from To-Go Systems, and this is a hybrid underquilt / sleeping bag. It has a really good rating on it. I'll leave a link to it so you can go check it out and see all the specs on it. Last I saw, this was on sale. It was like 50 bucks off, so definitely worth looking into if you need an underquilt or a sleeping bag. So, and like I said, it can be used for both. Comes with a nice stuff sack here. You can really pressure, cinch this down. I have it let out just as far as it'll go, just so it doesn't, stay compressed too much. But one really cool thing I saw on this, has a pocket on the side so that you can, here's that connector kit that I was talking about. Brian told me you can use this to connect 2 trifectas, or you can use it to make a break in the zipper so that you could use like the Trifecta XL as an underquilt. So, very cool. Cool idea. Also, the bungee cords for this underquilt are in there. So, that's why I'm taking it. It's multi-use, multi-purpose, and it has a really good rating on it. No reason that I should get cold out on this camping trip, even in April. The last thing, I got a new tarp. AquaQuest Defender. This is like a 10 by 13 tarp. It's very lightweight. But from all the reviews I've seen, I haven't got to use it yet, but from all the reviews I've seen, it's a really, really excellent tarp. Plenty big, so that I can keep the rain out. If being in April, it's very likely to rain. So we'll see what happens. You don't know what the weather's going to do from here between now and then. But I wanted a plenty big tarp, like I said, to keep the rain out. I'll have plenty of room. I can, adjust that big of a tarp. I could adjust it several different ways for, privacy, or for, button it way down to keep the wind out, and, just all kinds of different things I could do. I could turn it the other way that I would usually do, and I could actually close the ends like the cabin style tarps that they make, if you guys have seen those. So there's a lot of different options with a tarp that big. One of the things I will tell you, none of the stuff that I have sitting here is cheap. Like the quilt, the Tango Solo, I think was about 300 bucks. That Cloud View Light Hammock is around 100. That AquaQuest tarp is around 100. So it's not cheap gear, but it's one of those buy once, cry once. I should never have to buy anything again if this stuff works out for me. If it doesn't, I can probably resell it and get most of my money back. So that's the idea. Hopefully it'll do what I need it to do, and I'll never have to buy anything like that again for myself. The next thing would be to start upgrading stuff for my stepson that likes to go camping with me a lot. So those are a few things. Let me grab one other thing real quick. I put a new handle on my survival knife, the one I designed and had made by BCK Knives. The handle, it was a burl like a maple burl or something like that. It looked really nice. It was, you know, just beautiful, but it was just a little too, what's the word I'm looking for? The handle wasn't quite how I wanted it. It was a little bit exaggerated. He went by the picture that I gave him, so I can't hold it against him. I can't blame him for it. But it was just a little too pronounced, the curves and the hourglass Coke bottle type shape that I wanted. And so that burl it's beautiful and everything like that, but if it's not pressure treated, or I don't know how that works with that kind of wood, but it broke. It broke making, I was batoning kindling with it, and I just happened to smack it wrong, and I broke it. So I put a new handle on my knife. There we go. And I put a patina on it while I was at it, because I had to regrind, you know, the back edge and the belly of the handle for putting that handle on. I changed the handle up a little bit, and so I had to also change the sheath, because once you change the handle on a knife, if the handle's different at all, it won't fit in the same sheath. So like if you were to get, say, like an SE5 and then put aftermarket handle scales on, you probably, and if you had a custom Kydex sheath, you're probably going to have to get it redone. So I had to redo the sheath, and I made a couple of changes to it. It's still just a basic drop leg, but I put some this is from PS Cook, their version of the Survivor cord. It's like less than half the price of Titan Survivor cord, but obviously the Titan stuff is much better. Stuttering here. Put a ferro rod on it, and this is just my basic working type sheath, the like a beater sheath, if you would call it something like that. I'm going to be making something really cool for this knife now that I got a new handle on it, but I want to take it out and use it quite a bit, see how the handle's going to hold up. It fits my hand so much better now. But I did kind of curve that out, give it a little bit of a palm swell, not a lot. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but you can feel it when you get a hold of it. So I'm going to be taking that with me too, and doing some testing, doing some work with that. The other things I have a saw that I've never shown on this channel, but I'm sure you guys have seen this in other people's videos. The Boreal 21. I will probably take that with me. Just because, you know, that time of year you're going to want plenty of wood to burn in the fire, so to keep warm. So I'll probably take that saw. I'll probably also take a smaller saw for doing, you know, smaller like kindling type stuff. But I think that's about all I want to show you guys for now. I'm not sure which backpack I'm going to take, because I'm going to have to see, you know, when we get a little closer to the day, what you know, how much gear I'm going to have to take with me. I might end up taking my Smart Wool base layers just in case. That time of year, you just never know what's going to happen. So, not sure which backpack. I'm hoping I can take my Urban Mountain Packs rucksack over here. I'm hoping I can take that, but we'll see what happens. I don't think I can get quite enough gear in there for the cooler temperatures with all this stuff. So, but we'll see what happens. Might have to, I don't know, do a little something or other to make so I could strap stuff on top and bottom. I might be able to get it to work that way. Alright, so now I'm getting tongue-tied. I'm going to call this one a done video, and thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.